Okay, here's a little quick demonstration on how to actually produce the engineering drawing of your castle, however you produced it. So I'm starting from a blank SolidWorks page here, so I'll show you how to get started from completely blank, but you may be able to pick it up from wherever you happen to be. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go File, Open, and I'm going to open my castle demo solid assembly. See that there's a couple file names of that type, or excuse me, a couple file names that look like that, but only one assembly file. So here's my partially completed castle. It looks pretty hokey here. Doesn't really work. I've got blocks floating in space. But for our demo, doesn't really matter too much. So for your assignment, what you're going to ultimately need is to have a completed orthographic engineering drawing done with this. So how we're going to do this is you can come up here to this icon, New, Make Drawing from Part/Assembly. Click on that. And I am going to say no, I don't want to open that file because I had created one as an example already. You hopefully won't see that error come up or that message come up. So, and it gives you the options of picking these different layout formats. And 11 by 17, that's one. We're actually going to do a 22 by 17. It's going to be a slightly larger drawing size, but it will allow us to get our castle in there pretty nicely. So I'm going to click OK to that. C-sized. Now it may or may not come up for you all with having an the views on this palette over here. How you can get to this right here. If it's not showing up, never fear. Okay, so in mine here, what I could do is I could click on front and drag that in here and drop that view in place here. Okay, so if your view palette, this thing called the view palette, isn't showing up here, don't fear, because the other way we can do this, so that's one way. If it does show up in here, click and drag on that and come in here, and then you'll see that we can, from there, click and drag these different views in here. Okay, so if that way worked, then awesome. If not, I'm going to delete out all these other views. So I'm literally clicking and hitting the delete key on my keyboard to get rid of those views, if need be. But if they are not showing out, you can come up here to View Layout, and just so long as you actually had started from that other one, you could do Standard 3 View, Castle Demo, click on that, and then click in this area, and then let's see, Standard 3 View. No, is it getting unhappy with me here? Browse, Castle Demo, open. Hey, there we go. So on a slightly different method, I went in and hit Browse and then dropped in Standard 3 View. What's actually doing here is it's pulling in top view first. So top view in here, then would be my front view, then would be the side view. Okay. So, but what we've actually got going on here, and that you'd have to do this both ways. If you come in here, that we dropped actual drawing views in, I should say. Either way we did this. If you right click on, excuse me, sheet format is what I'm right clicking on. Come to properties here. You're going to notice that under these here we've got first angle projection highlighted, or versus third angle. What we actually want to have selected is the third angle projection type. And this may not, without knowing what's going on there, that would be, so what we had here is this is actually bottom view down here. And what I could do is I could delete this out now, and then I can bring this down here. And then from this point, what I could do is a projected view up. And what I was asking for was a front, top, and right view. That is going to accomplish our desire here. So that critical thing was right-clicking on sheet format, properties, third angle projection. Okay, and making it that way. Now what you need to do to finish out your drawing as well, and notice this is showing up kind of small. Back to properties. I come back in here, I can actually change the scale. If I do it default, it's probably coming in 1 to 8. If we change this to 1 to 4, apply changes, it's actually going to make everything a little bit nicer and bigger, easier to see. what's going on here. Okay. Then to finish out your drawing, what you're going to need to do for me is come here to Annotation, Smart Dimension. And the simple things you got to do is just going to have to Smart Dimension from your widest point of your castle, which likely is going to be your 24-inch right there, to then the width. You could even do that in this view if you wanted here. So mine is 36 inches wide at its widest point. And then even over here, you could then, in this view, or even in this view, we could show how tall your castle is. Oh, and that's not even the highest point of the castle. Let's go to the topmost point of that, and then you could do it down to here. So I'm not counting the base piece and the height. But shoot, mine's only 10 inches tall. If you look back at the rules, my castle needed to be 20 inches tall, or excuse me, at minimum your castle's got to be 20 inches tall. If it's at shortest point or whatever, 20 inches tall can be the shortest that your castle could be. Okay, all the way up to 48 for a spire or something. But anyway, I would not be meeting that rule requirement here on that drawing. But now I'd have to go back and redesign if I were to do that. But this is a quick little tutorial about how to get your drawing. What you then would do is you would go File. You would want to save this as a normal drawing type, as this file format type, Castle Demo. I'll say Demo 2. I could name that there. And then my screen of myself is in the way. I would click Save. So that's going to save. So in case anything happens, you've still got this file type SOLIDWORKS file to work with. And then after doing that, what you're going to want to do is File, Save As. You're going to come here, instead of saving it as a SOLIDWORKS drawing file format, you're going to come down here to the Adobe Portable Document Format. You are going to save that then to that location. Then you would take that Adobe PDF document, which if I come here and look at my Google Drive to SOLIDWORKS curriculum folder where I've been saving everything. All these files in here. Oops, I should be seeing a PDF in here somewhere. There we go. There's a Trojan block PDF, Castle Demo PDF. There it is. So that file right there would be the one that I would upload to Classroom to finish out the assignment. All right.